perspective of this. Let me pull up a menu. And real quick, I want to show you everybody else, because I know if you're watching us in Tuscaloosa or Birmingham, you want to know what's happening. Everybody else is okay right now. All right, we got one storm that's producing a large violent tornado that's on the ground. We got another one back just southwest Columbus, Mississippi, that's heading for Lamar County and Pickens County. Heads up for you. All right, we got a tornado that's confirmed on the ground up around Athens, Alabama. That's a tornado emergency not far outside of Huntsville. So there's several storms producing tornadoes. Only one of those right now is in our coverage area, and that's going to be tracking very, very close to Hamilton and eventually moving up 43 into Hackleburg. And let me zoom you right into this area. Here's Highway 78. There's downtown Hamilton. Looks like the Barnesville community, Weston's right there, Pleasant Ridge. There's the city of Hamilton. You're going to be sideswiped if not take a direct hit by this large tornado. Looks like Barnesville will likely take a direct hit. Weston will likely take a direct hit. Pleasant Ridge will likely take a direct hit from this multi-vortex large tornado. In fact, we're working on more information on this tornado emergency. It's moving northeast at 35 miles per hour. And it's one of those storms we've got to take serious. We're trying to get some images from any storm spotters that are in that area. I know we got Travis Leader that's heading in that general direction. I don't know if he's on that storm or not, but if he is, somebody let me know. Again, Marion County, Hamilton, Hackleburg, those are the main areas concerned. If you live anywhere in central Marion County, you got to get in a safe place right now, because this is a very dangerous situation. I cannot stress the urgency of the storm, because it is not a good situation, folks, for the Hamilton area. Let me zoom out just a little bit on this radar, and I want to look at the velocity with this. And we've got to wait on this velocity to update because radar makes a scan, takes about 5 minutes to update, a little bit less, and we're going to see if we have where exactly this velocity is. I can tell you that little appendage back there just west of Hamilton is where your tornado is. And looks like it's hard to see with velocity. I'll be honest, it's hard to see the rotation, but there's no doubt there's a tornado with this for a tornado emergency. Law enforcement sees it. It's down.
Yeah, Richard, and of course the communities of Hamilton and Weston all the way up to Hackleburg. Of course, the highway that runs between Hamilton and Hackleburg is US Highway 43. If you live in that area or know someone that lives in that area, also Hodges, which is in the southern part of Franklin County, please be in a safe shelter right now as this confirmed tornado heads your way.
Yeah, you know, unfortunately we got to talk about other towns like Phil Campbell. That was hit very hard on April 27th. Hackleburg, right down the road from that. Hamilton, here's some times I put on the screen for you. It is currently 5:32. You're watching WVUA TV. We're in the middle of a tornado emergency for Marion County. We got a tornado that's heading right for Weston in the next 2 minutes. It means it's probably in Weston right now. Hackleburg at almost 5:50. So, I mean, you've got less than 20 minutes in Hackleburg. Phil Campbell, that's over just across the county line out of Marion County. We're talking about 6 o'clock before the tornado hits you. So this is the situation, the latest situation. And across our state, yeah.
Not to interrupt, Richard, but this storm back in the northern portion of Noxubee County in Mississippi, exiting Winston County, is moving into Lowndes County, Mississippi. It's going to clip the southeastern portion of Oktibbeha County, I believe it's pronounced. Oktibbeha County, thank you. And ultimately could end up in southern Lamar and central to northern Pickens County. So even though we have this tornado warning currently in effect for northern Lamar County, our communities in southern Lamar County, central and northern Pickens County got to be ready for this potential tornado that this cell has actually had a history of doing extensive damage back in Louisville, Mississippi. So the urgency now, in addition to this storm that we're watching in Marion County, will now shift to southern Lamar, central and northern Pickens County, Richard.
Yeah, and I'll say this, Spinks, this storm that's across the state line of Pickens County, Lamar County, it is really ramped up rotation. I'm telling you folks, it's more than likely a tornado on the ground based off the history of the storm. It's a really good chance this thing has a large tornado on the ground with that. All right, let's go back up to the north, because we've got a tornado emergency for Marion County that includes Hamilton and Hackleburg. We've got Travis Leader, who is live over in Marion County with updates. What's going on up there, Travis?
Yes, we're on Highway 107, just south of Ewan right now. We are trying to look, in that direction of where this confirmed tornado is on the ground. There's too many miles and too many trees in the way. I cannot really see what's going on with the cloud formation. We're going to continue to head north in this direction until we get to Ewan. I wanted to ask you real fast, Richard, if it would be safe to continue heading a little bit further north from that point, considering where the storms are west of us.
Yeah, you're in Ewan, right, Travis?
I think we've lost Travis, Richard.
We've lost Travis, but he's south of that storm, so he's in a safe spot now. But if he's looking north, he would be looking into where the tornado would be over there in Marion County. Again, this is a confirmed tornado. It's a tornado emergency. It's not anything to take lightly. This is a very dangerous situation for this particular thunderstorm. We're going to wait on a new velocity update and see if we can measure the wind inside this thing. And unfortunately, it's been kind of hard to with this particular storm. But we know there's one there over Marion County, very, very close to Hamilton and very close to Hackleburg. It's going to be moving over Hackleburg, and eventually it's going to be moving over into portions of Phil Campbell, Hodges community. Looks like we got a pretty dangerous storm here. We got Travis back on the line. Travis, where are you exactly?
We are just a little north of Wayside, right on the Marion-Fayette County line, essentially just south of Ewan. At the moment, we're looking, northwest of us. We do see the lowering of clouds deep in the horizon, but there's just so many trees, so I can't really see from my vantage point anything that's going on with that storm system. We were wondering how north we can go, where we will still be in a safe place at this point. I know these storms are slow moving, and there's others that are still in Mississippi that could be heading our way. Would Ewan be a good place to hunker down at the moment?
You could go north of Ewan, Travis. In fact, I would stop at Hamilton on 43. Looks like the tornado would be just north of there by the time you would get there. But now I want you to use caution because, Travis, there's another storm that's getting closer to Columbus, Mississippi with a confirmed tornado. That's going to be moving really close to those areas, especially Lamar County, Fayette, and Marion County. So you got a storm that is coming at you. But you probably got a good 2 hours before it would get in your area.
Okay, we'll continue to head north toward Hamilton, and once we get a little closer to this system, we'll try to let you know what we're seeing here on the ground level and try to provide those updates to you.
All right, thanks, Travis. That's Travis Leader. He is live up in Marion County, not too far from Ewan, and he's looking into the supercell thunderstorm that has prompted the tornado emergency for Marion County. Now, the possible tornado is extremely close to Hamilton. In fact, some updates. Looks like there's some storm spotters that are still tracking a tornado wall cloud up here. And again, that's let's see, is that the Marion County storm, Spinks?
I believe it is, Richard, but let's hold off on confirming that.
Okay, yeah, if you can confirm that,
Sure.
It looks like there could still be a tornado. There's still a tornado emergency, so it doesn't matter. If you're in northern and central Marion County, you got to be in your safe place. And again, here's Highway 78 that runs into Hamilton. Travis is down here over the southern part of the county, and he was a good distance away from it, but he could see the lowering in this area, but he couldn't see the tornado up under it because all the trees that's in that part of the state. But your tornado is going to be right there, really close to Hamilton. It's heading right for Hackleburg, folks. So if you're watching us in Hackleburg in northern and eastern Marion County, that's where the tornado is going. See Highway 43 that runs out of Hamilton. It runs to Hackleburg. That's where it's heading. Other storms of concern we are watching very closely, and those are in East Mississippi. Those are going to be moving into West Alabama here over the next hour. In fact, this thunderstorm down here south of Columbus is producing a tornado now. It's moving towards Columbus, Mississippi. In fact, Columbus could take a direct hit from this tornado, which would obviously be a disaster, but hopefully that will weaken before it gets to Columbus. Next stop after that would be Vernon, Millport, and Kennedy across central and southern Lamar County. Areas just northwest of Reform out on Highway 82. There's Highway 82. The tornado should cross the state line somewhere right in here between Vernon and Reform and tracking that area across Lamar County, Pickens County. Now, we don't have a tornado warning in that area just yet, but I would not be shocked if we get a tornado warning in about 30 minutes for this area right here from northwest Alabama, central southern Lamar County, northern portions of Pickens County. You're going to be under the gun with this potential tornado. So let me zoom back out. and show you a wide perspective, because I know a lot of folks are watching from other parts of the state. Everybody else, if you're watching from Coleman to Gadsden, Birmingham, Talladega, Tuscaloosa, Demopolis, Linden, Livingston, you're all okay right now. But as this activity, these dangerous thunderstorms, it's more of a line of supercells. They're individual cells within a line of thunderstorms, and that makes it very dangerous because you have two issues: tornadoes and flash flooding, and those are big concerns here. We're going to have flash flooding on top of the tornado risk. There's a one cell that's out ahead of the other cells and out ahead of the line. That one's really got us concerned. They're going to be moving to Pickens County and Lamar County. But the tornado emergency is for this particular thunderstorm right here. It looks like it's just on the north side of Hamilton now. It's going to be moving right into Hackleburg. Very, very close call for Hackleburg. So if you're watching, it's in that part of Marion County. You got to be underground if you can. If not, the lowest floor of your home. Put as many walls between you and the outside as possible.
And Richard, we are getting a continuance of this tornado emergency by the National Weather Service in Birmingham. This just came across the line at 5:39, so about 30 seconds ago. The tornado emergency, which is a tornado warning, an enhanced tornado warning, continues for northwest Marion County. At 5:33, that was about 7 minutes ago, local law enforcement reported a tornado near Weston, or about 6 miles northwest of Hamilton, moving northeast at 35 miles per hour. So anyone in Marion County right now, particularly near Hamilton, near Hackleburg, anyone that lives near the US 43 corridor that runs from Hamilton up to Hackleburg, you've got to be in a safe place, for preferably the interior portion of your site-built house. And I say site-built house because you've got to get out of mobile homes. Mobile homes are not a good place to be during tornadoes. And of course, anyone driving right now, or if you know of anyone driving, you've got to let them know that we've got this tornado emergency in effect for northern and western portions of Marion County. In fact, Highway 78, which is the future Interstate 22 corridor that runs from the Mississippi state line down to just south of Hamilton, there's several exits off of that highway near Hamilton. If you know anyone that's driving in that part of the world, please call them and let them know they've got to pull over and seek safe shelter away from this storm. And it's going to continue moving on to the northeast at about 35 miles per hour. While we look at that storm, we've also got this storm that seems to be ramping up, especially over the last few radar frames in eastern Mississippi. In fact, we're going to go ahead and take a look at a damage photo. This is from Louisville, Mississippi, and these were cars you can see just torn to pieces. Absolute devastation reported in Louisville, Mississippi. Richard, certainly not what we want to see, especially with this storm that produced that damage moving into central Alabama.
Yeah, Spinks, this is exactly the classic why we don't want you in a car, why we don't want you in a mobile home, anything that's could easily be susceptible to tornado winds, because this could happen. If somebody was in those cars, the chance of survival would be extremely small. So we don't want you in a car. If you do go under tornado warning, we want you to get out of that and into a safer place. To kind of reset things real quick, like we got large tornado watch, and that's a PDS tornado watch for much of North and West Alabama. Generally, everybody from Tuscaloosa down toward Utah and Livingston and points northwest, you're under that particularly dangerous situation tornado watch. We've got tornado warnings lined up from just north of Huntsville back to Hamilton, back to Columbus, Mississippi, and then back into the Jackson Metro. So these lined up tornado warnings are going to continue to slide eastward slowly but surely. The storms themselves are moving northeast, but the line itself is sinking southeast. And again, everybody in these tornado warnings, you got to be in that safe place right now. So let me go into that storm that is over Marion County pretty quickly. First off, let me show you this too. Notice what's happened here. These supercell thunderstorms that were out here by themselves is developing more into a line of supercell type thunderstorms. It doesn't mean they're less dangerous, but it does mean that the risk of tornadoes will slowly, and I mean slowly, decrease overnight tonight. We still got a while to go before we're all clear. In fact, we probably got a good 5 to 10 hours before the threat for tornadoes will pretty much die off tonight. Sometime later after midnight, so it's going to take a long time before this mess does get on through our area. Here's the tornado warning again. There's Hamilton. The tornado itself would be right here on the north side of Hamilton, right on top of Highway 43. If not on top of Highway 43, about a half a mile to the west of there. If it's a large tornado, which we've had reports it is a large multivortex tornado, it's going to be likely right up against Highway 43 moving into Hackleburg. There's Hackleburg right there. Very hard hit on April 27, 2011. You know, if you're watching us in Hackleburg, you got to get in that safe place. You survived this one time before. You can survive it again. We want you in your safe place, all right? Lowest floor, you know the drill. Lowest floor, away from windows. We don't want you in a mobile home or in a car. Because there's likely still a tornado with this. It's a tornado emergency. That area right there is extremely suspicious. In fact, let's look at, hang on, do we have anything new, Spinks?
Yeah, I've been looking at the National Weather Service feed, and I think right now the latest is that tornado emergency in northern Marion County continues. However, there haven't been any new updates in the past 2 minutes.
All right, let's look at the dual polarization aspect of this and kind of see if we can actually see this thing based off of debris. And there's definitely a suspicious spot that's just west of Hackleburg that could be debris, and this is a tornado emergency, so we know there's a tornado here. We're just trying to see the debris aspect of it. Let's look at the velocity. And we got to wait on a new scan to come through. We're going to look at the velocity as soon as that happens. And again, the tornado is going to be really, really close to Hackleburg within the next 5 to 10 minutes. So if you're watching us in Hackleburg, you don't have long to go. Here comes our new scan with the velocity. See if we get an update here. And there's still some wind in there. There's still that evidence of rotation. There's clearly a tornado here based off of the reports we're getting.
Yeah, Richard, and so now the threat has shifted into the northern portion of Marion County. Anyone that lives near the U.S. Highway 43 corridor that runs from Hamilton up to Hackleburg up to Isbell in Marion County, you need to be in a safe place right now. Also, Bear Creek, Phil Campbell, and Hodges, you should be in a safe place as well.
All right, let me do a storm track on this because this is just about to cross over Hackleburg, Phil Campbell. Bear Creek's on the edge of this thing, but we'll include you to be in that safe place. Here's some times of arrival. We're talking Hackleburg at 5:58, so you got about 10 minutes, and I would not take that 10 minutes slowly. I would take that 10 minutes very quickly. Go ahead and get to your safe place in Hackleburg. If you're watching us at Bear Creek, we're talking about 6:08. Phil Campbell, which is obviously north of the Marion County line there, you got 6:11. So if you know anybody in Phil Campbell, I don't think anybody can watch us on television up there, but if you have friends there, we want you to be in a safe place as well because there's a tornado here. It's on the ground. It's mean. It's big, and it means business. Let's see, are you getting anything else, Spinks, off of that storm to the south? Because that's the one we need to watch really close to.
Yeah, we're watching this storm entering Lowndes County, Mississippi, and some communities right now that should be sheltered in their storm-safe place are Artesia and Crawford. Also, Brooksville should be sheltered, and this is going to come very close to a highly populated area near Columbus. So anyone right now near U.S. Highway 45 that runs from Columbus down to Macon, Mississippi, if you know anyone in those areas, please call them, let them know. We have got a very violent-looking signature on the radar. Certainly wouldn't be surprised to have a tornado down in the southwestern part of Lowndes County right now. And understand, over the next in the next hour, this storm will ultimately end up in northern Pickens County and southern Lamar County, including communities like Millport, Macedonia, Reform, Kennedy, Belk, also Ethelsville in northern Pickens County. All of those communities could potentially be under the gun in about the next half hour from this intense storm currently moving into Lowndes County, Mississippi.
All right, just an update from the National Weather Service in Birmingham. In fact, this is a live update, just came out a few seconds ago. There's still a tornado on the ground, according to law enforcement, moving northeast at 30 miles per hour. Tornado is located just north of Hamilton now. So this is a very dangerous storm. It's likely still a tornado on the ground. We're waiting to get confirmation from damage there, but we haven't had any damage so far, which is good. I really think that could change at any time because, obviously we have reports of a tornado on the ground from law enforcement. If there's a tornado on the ground with this thing, then we're going to get damage out of it. Hopefully, this damage will be over an area where nobody lives.
Right, Richard, and I do note that this storm that's moving into Pickens County and southern Lamar County, that's coming into an area where the atmosphere is particularly ripe for tornadoes. In fact, our significant tornado parameter, that's just one index we look at to forecast the potential development for tornadoes. It's right now at a 4, so very high STP values. And what that means is this storm that's moving into Pickens and southern Lamar County is going to have a lot of energy to work with as it continues across the state line into Alabama, Richard. Not what we want to hear, but unfortunately that's the case right now.
Yeah, and if we could take our Tuscaloosa tower camera, I want to show you kind of perspective from Tuscaloosa, what we are looking at. And again, you're looking off in that west direction towards downtown, down University Boulevard. Conditions, we obviously can't see this tornado from our tower camera this far away, but we're looking in the west where things are getting more ominous. We'll likely start to see some darker clouds here over the next hour or so. Again, we're looking off in that west direction towards downtown. We're going to be able to see that Pickens County storm as it moves in. Right now, there's no tornado warning for Pickens County, but I'll tell you this, we'll start to see kind of that ominous look off in the west direction. Right now, Tuscaloosa is totally in the clear, but I really think that will change a little later tonight, a little later this evening. Right now, it's 5:50. Still got a couple of hours before it gets dark out, but more than likely here in the next hour or two, we'll start to see that dark horizon here in Tuscaloosa. So, all right, let's go back over to radar, and this is the storm we're talking about. There's Tuscaloosa. We're looking back towards the storm, just too far away to see anything. That storm is in East Mississippi, but the rain is starting to fall in West Alabama, Lamar, and Pickens County. Let me pan this thing out, because we definitely have a dangerous situation for our northwest Alabama counties. In fact, let's go up here to Hamilton and Hackleburg, where we've still got that confirmed tornado on the ground. Also, if you could repeat where that other tornado was it Lauderdale County? All right, yeah, there's a tornado on the ground in Lauderdale County, which is in far north Alabama near Clemens High School. That's far north Alabama, but we've got several tornadoes reported on the ground up here, not too far outside of Huntsville and Athens in that part of Alabama. So if you got family up there, there's tornadoes on the ground with both of these thunderstorms. Now understand, we're pretty far away from the radar site up here, so the storms may not look as impressive, but they are producing tornadoes up here. There's Florence, there's Athens. Athens had a tornado nearby earlier about 30 minutes ago, and that storm right there is moving northeast like that into Tennessee. There's a Tennessee state line. There's your other storm that's producing a current tornado. Again, that's going to be moving close to Athens again, so heads up if you know anybody in Athens, they need to get to shelter now. Here's your other tornado. This is the one on the ground in our coverage area where you can watch us on television in Marion County. We've got a tornado confirmed on the ground just up here north of Hamilton. Let's see. We've got some reports coming from the National Weather Service office. It's like a state trooper from at Grover Davis Road says tornadoes on the ground. They didn't give a timestamp on that, but I assume the tornado is still on the ground at 178. So again, that's another. I'm sorry, 187. So that's another tornado we're talking about over in Marion County. Spinks.
Yeah, Richard, and I'm seeing some reports on Twitter, and I would advise that this applies to all of our central Alabama counties as well, all the people that live in our coverage area. Please do not call 911 unless it is a true emergency. That goes for all cities and counties in the state of Alabama and Mississippi. 911 is not an information line. Apparently we've had some people calling 911 for the latest weather information, and we advise you that that's a true emergency only line, so please don't call 911 for the latest weather information. Also, we are watching this storm that we've been talking about entering Lowndes County, Mississippi. We note that a new tornado warning was just issued for the Metro Columbus area in Lowndes County, Mississippi. This includes the smaller communities of Crawford, Artesia, New Hope, Steens, and this is the storm that ultimately could end up in the northern portion of Pickens County and the southern portion of Lamar County. So that would be places like Kennedy, Millport, Ethelsville, Macedonia, as far east as Reform as well, Richard. So we're going to have to keep a close eye on this storm as it continues moving off to the northwest at about now 40 miles per hour.
Yeah, and this storm is what we're looking at on the radar. And again, this is a very dangerous storm that's going to be moving into Pickens County, as Spinks was saying here. Look at the velocity, and we've got an incredible signature of rotation within this thunderstorm that unfortunately looks like it's going to move right on top of Columbus, Mississippi, and that is a huge population center. We do not want to see that happen, but it looks like that is happening, Spinks.
Yeah, and we've also got a, actually this is not a report, this is going to be in northern Marion County. People still seeing this tornado on the ground approaching Hackleburg. So if you were in Hackleburg, Phil Campbell, Bear Creek, anywhere near there, anywhere in northern Marion County or really southern Franklin County as well, you've got to be in a safe place. That includes portions of U.S. Highway 43, also State Highway 5 and State Highway 172 that runs from Phil Campbell down to Hackleburg. If you live anywhere near there, you've got to be in a safe place, preferably underground. If no underground shelter is available, we encourage you to get to the lowest floor of your site-built house in the interior portion away from windows. And of course, if you're in a mobile home, we say this over and over again, but perhaps you're turning on the TV for the first time, you've got to get out of your mobile home if you're in northern Marion or southern Franklin County, as we've got a tornado emergency that continues right now.
Yeah, and we're looking at National Weather Service reports. Hackleburg Police Department is actually confirming a funnel cloud northwest of Hackleburg, about 2 to 3 miles. It's very large, it's very low. And we've actually got Travis Leader that's on it. We're going to get that to you here pretty shortly. But here's a wide perspective. I want to kind of reset things for you. What's happening across Alabama? We got a large tornado outbreak happening over northwest Alabama and central Mississippi. This tornado outbreak will slowly continue to slide southeast. Eventually, it will include places like Tuscaloosa, Birmingham metros, but it's going to take a little time before it gets that far south. Our main concern is the current tornado warnings. We've got numerous tornadoes on the ground stretching from about Huntsville, Alabama, or near Huntsville, back to Jackson, Mississippi. And this trail of supercell thunderstorms that's kind of formed into more of a line continues to slowly slide southeastward. It's going to take time, though, for it to reach many of you around Alabama. But our far northwest Alabama counties, you're under the gun right now. So let me zoom into this storm that's over Marion County, and this is about to move out of Marion County. This is very close to Hackleburg. We had a large tornado confirmed on the ground moments ago. Looks like there could still be a tornado on the ground, but it's hard to see. Whoever's reporting this now, I believe law enforcement's out there now looking at it. There's Hackleburg. The tornado would be just on the west and northwest side of Hackleburg, about to move into Phil Campbell. Phil Campbell's out of our coverage area, but Hackleburg is in. We're watching that again move northeast about 30 miles per hour. We got some pictures from Marion County out of Hackleburg, so let's see what's going on up there. This is off of Highway 43, just outside of Hackleburg. And it's really hard to see if there's a tornado there, but there's no doubt there's a... All right, we got Travis Leader that's up there too. Travis... All right, what's Travis seeing up there? All right, there's this live shot there. And that's up around Hamilton. And it's hard to see if there's a tornado there. There's no doubt. There's a low spot. There's a dark area. Just with the trees there, you can't really tell if that's a tornado or not. But I'm telling you, if you're near Hackleburg, you got to be in that safe place right now. There could still be a large tornado with this. That area looks mean, but again, you just can't see below that. See if there's a tornado down on the ground. Again, Travis Leader's up there now near Hamilton looking into this thing, which is now to the north and northeast of him. But again, this is something that is very concerning to us. As Travis zooms into this thing, again, we can't see if there's a tornado underneath that, but I'll tell you now there's a chance that there is a tornado down there because that does look very, very suspicious where he is. That large, dark, lowering area, but on the other side of that hill, you'd be able to see if there's a tornado down or not. Unfortunately, you just can't see below that hilltop over there where all the trees are. But again, this is over in Marion County. We've got confirmed tornado on the ground about 10 to 15 minutes ago. Likely, this tornado is probably still on the ground. You know, we got a video that's live right now looking out of Hamilton up towards where this tornado is. And I'll tell you now, it's an area that really needs watching. If you're watching us, yeah, Travis is also talking about there's a lot of cloud-to-ground lightning up there. We can see that on the side of the image. As you know, if you've been in any tornado outbreak, a lot of times you have a lot of lightning. Most of the time, sometimes that can be an indicator there's a tornado really close by. If you have a lot of lightning in a small area, and that's kind of what we're seeing there right in front of that. Spinks, you have anything new?
Yeah, we see an image on Twitter. This is in the Hamilton area. This is looking back. Now, the storm has since moved north of the Hamilton area. However, this is a view of it as it moved through that community, Richard. So that's what we're looking at right now.
All right, looks like we got some more reports, okay. Highway 43 traveling northeast, the spotter doesn't have a mile marker, but he's saying there's tree debris on the road, which is obviously a bad sign. You know, with tornadoes, you get a lot of debris. Here's, you saw a picture of that near Hamilton. It's near Hackleburg now.
All right, Richard, and let's go ahead and take the radar and look at our southern storm that we are looking at, and that's going to be entering southern Lamar and the northern portion of Pickens County here in western Alabama. And right now, if you know anyone in the city of Columbus, Mississippi, please call them, let them know they've got this violent looking couplet to the south of there. That's going to continue moving to the northeast over the next several minutes. And you know, Richard, we've been talking about it. If it holds together.
Oh, wow, look at that.
Yeah.
There's no doubt there's a large tornado on the ground. About to move into downtown Columbus. This is a horrible situation for the city of Columbus, Mississippi.
Got a tornado warning for Lamar and Pickens.
All right, there's a tornado warning for Lamar and Pickens County. They're saying capable of producing a tornado, but I can tell you this, there is no doubt in my mind there's a tornado on the ground. Let's look at the wind inside this thing because it has got to be extremely violent. 114 miles per hour outbound. Let's see if we can get a good inbound. 51 mile per hour inbound. Goodness, we're looking at 160, 170 mile per hour winds right there. In fact, I can probably get a better measurement right here, 51 by 114.
Wow.
You don't see rotation like that. This is about to hit downtown Columbus, Mississippi. Next up, okay, listen, next up is northwest Pickens County and central and southern Lamar County. This is an extremely dangerous situation.
Yeah, Richard, and Highway 82 that runs out of Tuscaloosa into Mississippi, into Columbus, if you know someone, of course, I would imagine there's several people that work in the city of Tuscaloosa that commute from this area, please call them, let them know they have got to get out of the path of this storm. If they are traveling right now on U.S. Highway 82 to the west of Reform, north of Macedonia, near the Ethelsville community. That's the community sits about 2 miles down Highway 82 as you cross into Alabama, and this tornado is going to be coming right into that part of Pickens County and ultimately will end up in southern Lamar County. So communities like Millport and Kennedy and also Belk, which is technically in Fayette County, they are downwind from this tornado. That's going to be the next communities that this violent storm affects.
All right, and also I do want to mention there is some damage along I-22 near Hamilton. That's from public reports of damage there. We had a confirmed tornado, and I'll tell you this, folks, this storm coming into Columbus, Mississippi, this thing is mean. This is one of the most dangerous signatures I've seen, and we've seen some horrible damage already. This thing right here is going to hit Columbus. Next up, it's going to hit portions of western Lamar County, northwest Pickens County. If you're watching us at Reform Gordo, you're okay. This tornado is going to stay just northwest of Reform near Ethelsville and points west. It looks like it's going to hit downtown Columbus head on. So if you're watching us in the city of Columbus, or if you know anybody in the city of Columbus, Mississippi, I know some folks can actually watch us over there, signal there. You got to be in a safe place. That is an extremely dangerous tornado right there, likely a very large, violent tornado moving into Columbus. Next up, you got Vernon. There's Belk over in Fayette County. Go ahead and get in your safe place. You got a little while, but you need to be there. Millport, Kennedy. There's Highway 17 that runs north out of Millport into Vernon. We want you to get in a safe place. We don't want you in a car. You got to get out of a mobile home. If you're in a mobile home, you got a little bit of time, not much. You got a little bit of time. We're talking for the West Alabama state line, for Lamar and Pickens County. You've got less than 20 minutes to get out of that trailer, out of that mobile home, and get in a site-built structure, a storm pit, anything you can do. Do not try to outrun this thing now. Don't try to get in your car and outrun it. You don't want to do that because it can catch up to you faster than you think. Here's a new scan. And it's still extremely dangerous signature moving right into Columbus, about as wrapped up as you can get, moving into downtown Columbus. I'm going to take off the velocity here. And our Daniel, if you can take that velocity off.
Yeah, we can get that off, Richard. And
we've got Daniel Sparkman here with us too, so I didn't call you by the wrong name.
Yeah, and this new tornado warning for northern Pickens and Lamar County goes until 7 o'clock. So for basically the next 56 minutes in that part of the world, you've got to be sheltered, as Richard mentioned. And we are actually looking at several new pictures coming in via Twitter from the storm that's in Detroit, or excuse me, was in Detroit, Alabama. Of course, that's in northern Lamar County, so I don't want to confuse people. Of course, this new storm is for southern Lamar County.
Let's see here. Yeah, this storm, and this could have been the tornado. It's really hard to see below that, but there's a good chance this is the tornado itself. That was over Detroit, and there it is there. And this person took a picture that was looking at what was likely the tornado that was near Detroit in northern Lamar County. That storm is now past Hamilton. It's past Hackleburg. It's moved over into north Alabama out of our coverage area. But again, this was a storm we dealt with a little bit earlier. Right now, we've got an extremely dangerous thunderstorm that is likely producing a large tornado. In fact, it looks like we've got a debris signature right there just south of Columbus. It's going to be moving just like this. It's going to skirt Columbus, hit northwest corner Pickens County, central and southern Lamar County. That's the troublemaker we're looking at. And I want to look at something really quick. I want to look at our dual polarization product and see what we've got here. Let me go back down to that storm because we were looking at Hackleburg. That's now out of Hackleburg, so we're okay up there. Look at that.
Debris ball.
We've got a debris signature. There's no doubt there's a tornado on the ground with that. That's just south of Columbus. There's your tornado right there. That odd area that shouldn't be there, that's actually debris, that's not rain. That's going to be hitting Columbus here in the next few moments, and then again after Columbus. It looks like it's going to hit the southeast corner of Columbus. You likely got some very large hail falling in downtown Columbus, Mississippi. Okay, this is Highway 82 at 45. Okay, this is in Columbus, Mississippi. Incredible amount of lightning. This is a live feed from Columbus, Mississippi. Very heavy rain, intense lightning. You see people still traveling along Highway 82. If you're familiar with Columbus, Mississippi, you're driving west out of Pickens County towards Starkville. You go through Columbus on Highway 82, where it turns into an interstate in East Mississippi, and incredible amount of lightning. In fact, you can see the reflection of the lightning off the ground below. And let's quickly go over to Travis's shot. He's over in Marion County, and this is in Hamilton. Now, the tornado has passed by him into northern Alabama, the tornado has actually passed into Franklin County, out of Marion County, but Travis is up on the way to Hackleburg to see if he sees any damage out of the storm. Now, we have reports of damage on Interstate 22, the new I-22 corridor that's just outside of Hamilton. We've got confirmed damage off of that. Travis is heading up that way now to see what he sees, but we got a dangerous storm that is now about to move into Lamar County, northwest Pickens County. Somebody give Travis a heads up. I'm sure he already knows, but somebody give him a heads up just in case. There's a very dangerous storm southwest him a little bit, so he needs to watch out for that. So we want Travis safe on the roads there. So again, Travis is heading up towards Hackleburg to see if he's got any damage up there. Meanwhile, let's go back over to radar. And let's go into that storm that just came out of Hamilton, Hackleburg. And I'll say this, if you're in Hackleburg, you need to stay in your safe place. It looks like the tornado is getting north of you, but Phil Campbell over in Franklin County, that tornado is going to be moving over you. Could you repeat that, please? We have some more information from, which storm is that? All right, we'll get that here in a minute. All right, so let's go back down to Columbus. I want to show you what's happening because this is another very, very dangerous storm that's about to move in our coverage area. There's Columbus. There's your debris. Incredible. I mean, absolutely incredible rotation. Looks like two distinct areas of rotation to me, which, I mean, there could be two tornadoes involved with this. We've seen this happen before with this particular thunderstorm, where you have one dying rotation and then a brand new rotation filling its place. Let's go back over to velocity real quick on that.
All right.
Wow.
Just incredible, that signature, Richard. And that's moving right into southern Lamar County and northern Pickens County. So please, if you live in those areas, if you even know someone in those areas, it's critically important right now to let them know that this large and violent tornado is moving into those areas. State Highway 96, anyone that lives from, say, Millport to the west near the state line, you've got to be in a safe place right now.
All right, we've got a picture of what looks like the tornado in Hackleburg, and again, this is a very ominous sight over in Hackleburg. Again, that's in northern Marion County. What appears to be that tornado itself. It's hard to see, can't see below the trees, but that's likely the tornado that passed through there just a little bit earlier. Okay, and all right, so this is now killer tornado outbreak. We've got 3 fatalities over in Limestone County, which is over in far north Alabama. If you're familiar with that part of the state, that's where Athens is. That's a little bit west of Huntsville, just west of Madison County. We've got 3 fatalities, so that is something we don't want to hear. There's fatalities. This is a killer outbreak across Alabama, so we want you in your safe place if you're in the path of these storms. Let's go back over to radar because we have got some issues to talk about. All right, here's Columbus, Mississippi. This is where a violent tornado likely is right now based off of a radar. I can tell you this, based off the other storms we looked at, this is more than likely a violent tornado on the southeast corner of downtown Columbus. That tornado is going to be crossing Ethelsville and then southern Lamar County, Millport, Kennedy. You're going to be under the ground. We want you in your safe place. You got to get in that safe place. That includes the lowest floor of your home. Put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. All right. So again, if you're watching us in Pickens County, the very northwest corner of Pickens County, we want you in your safe place, because there's no doubt there's a very dangerous tornado right here just southeast of Columbus, moving right towards Millport, Kennedy, and Vernon up Highway 17. If you're watching us up that way, that's where that tornado is actually going right now. There's Highway 96 that runs out of Columbus, Mississippi. That you can take that road up to Fayette if you wanted to. We don't want you driving on the highways. That's where this tornado is going to be crossing into Alabama. In fact, let me see what we have here on the reports, the latest from the National Weather Service. Looks like, yeah, there's very dangerous storms up in the Huntsville market. Around here, we've got some damage up around Hamilton off of I-22. That's from the tornado we had a little bit earlier. Right now, the main storm of concern is actually just to the west of us, just to the west of Reform near Ethelsville. That's where this dangerous storm is now. If you're watching us in Reform and Gordo, you're okay, but it's not going to be long before that storm passes by you. So let me look at the velocity on this thing, because we've got incredible velocity signature. There's no doubt there's very, very strong evidence of rotation near New Hope right now. Ethelsville, you're really close to this tornado. It looks like the tornado may be about 2 or 3 miles, maybe up to 5 miles west of you. It looks like it's over on the East Mississippi side of Pickens County right now. But this is, again, moving right over New Hope. It's going to be crossing Highway 96, which runs through southern Lamar County. A lot of folks know 96. It runs up to Millport and Kennedy, joins Highway 17 right there by Kennedy before the highway split again, and then they run up north-south to Vernon, then down south to Reform. Let me take a wide perspective, because I know a lot of folks are watching us across Alabama, and I want to show you what's happening everywhere across Alabama. Because this is a unique setup we don't deal with very often. We've got a tornado outbreak in progress, again, across northwest Alabama, North Alabama, and East Mississippi. We've got numerous tornado warnings, numerous tornadoes on the ground with these storms that are back off towards the west, stretching from near Huntsville and Athens, Alabama, down into Franklin County, Alabama, down into East Mississippi near Columbus, back down towards Jackson, Mississippi. This is a line of supercell thunderstorms. Each one of these storms are capable of producing large violent tornadoes. They're going to slowly move northeast, and then the line itself, this entire batch, will slowly and very slowly slide southeast over the next several hours. Now, we've got Lynn Brooks over in the newsroom who has an update. Lynn, what's happening?
Hi there, Richard. Yes, unfortunately, 3 fatalities being reported now out of North Alabama. This information coming from Al Whitaker at WHNT TV. 3 fatalities that they're reporting in North Alabama in Limestone County. 2 of those fatalities out of the Lehigh Mobile Home Park. 1 of those fatalities off House Sledge Road. So again, from WHNT TV in Huntsville, 3 fatalities in Limestone County, that's in North Alabama. 2 of those, Lehigh Mobile Home Park, and 1 off House Sledge Road. Now, we also want to remind you, if you're here in the Tuscaloosa area, there's an additional shelter that we want to report to you tonight. So if you're here in the Tuscaloosa area and you don't have a safe place to ride out this storm, you can go to the Ecola Volunteer Fire Department. That one just opened. That's in addition to Tuscaloosa Magnet School and also the Tuscaloosa Career and Technology Academy here in Tuscaloosa County. Also, if you're a faculty, staff, or student at the University of Alabama, you can go to the Gorgas Library or the University of Alabama Rec Center. So that's for the Tuscaloosa area. If you are a University of Alabama student, faculty, or staff, you can go to the University of Alabama shelters, but that is exclusively for students, faculty, and staff at the Capstone. But again, from North Alabama, 3 fatalities being reported out of Limestone County, 2 out of the Lehigh Mobile Home Park, and 1 off House Sledge Road. Live in the newsroom, I'm Lynn Brooks. Let's take it back over to Richard for an update.
All right, thanks, Lynn, for the report and the update there. Again, what you're looking at in the box is live radar, and we've got multiple tornado warnings stretching from near Athens and Huntsville, Alabama, all the way back down towards the south and southeast. We have numerous tornadoes with these particular thunderstorms. One of those is about to move into northwest Pickens County and southern and central Lamar County. Looks like the National Weather Service also very concerned about this particular storm. Saying the radar is showing 2 separate circulations moving across state line in a matter of minutes. That's what we were talking about just a little bit earlier. You know, we were able to pick up 2 distinct circulations with that one thunderstorm there. And in fact, let's zoom you into that storm in northwest Pickens County and south central Lamar County. And the storm of concern is right here, very close to Columbus, Mississippi. Your tornado is going to be right there. It's likely a large tornado. We don't have reports of the tornado on the ground at this second, but I'm telling you, it's likely a large tornado right here near Columbus, moving off towards the north and east. In fact, we got an image. Wow, that's incredible. We got an image, and which one is this? All right, Crawford, Mississippi. WCBI, the TV station near Columbus. This picture is one of those panoramic type pictures of a wall cloud. You see the blue there, that is likely a hail core, likely some very large hail, but there's probably a tornado somewhere in there. You can't see it, it might be wrapped up in rain, so that's why we don't want you looking for these tornadoes. It's likely one in there, you just can't see it right now because of all the rain that's wrapping around the tornadic circulation. Let's go back over to radar, and this is the storm we're looking at. It's back here. It's when it was in Crawford, Mississippi. You see Crawford right there? That picture was taken right there. The storm is now right here between Columbus and Ethelsville. It's still officially in Mississippi, but the tornado is about to cross the state line in a matter of a couple of minutes, and Lamar County is going to be the main impact from the storm as it moves out of the Columbus metro area and into ports in northwest Pickens County. There's Millport. Kennedy, you're formally not in the tornado warning, but I want you to be in that safe place. Ethelsville, you're in the tornado warning, got to be in that safe place. Reform, Gordo, you're fine from this storm. Now, there could be more a little bit later with that particular storm, but again, there's a very strong evidence of a tornado right in here. See New Hope, that's in East Mississippi, right on the state line off of Highway 82 between Reform and Columbus. And there's Ethelsville right there, Highway 96. So we don't want you driving along Highway 96 or 82. Avoid travel. Right now, you got to stay in your safe place. And if you live out here in a mobile home, we want you to get out of that immediately. Find a structure. I mean, you only have a matter of minutes. You got to find a structure nearby, hopefully within walking distance, because I don't want you in a car driving. All right, we've got somebody in Columbus that's off of Highway 45. And again, this is a storm spotter that's out there now. Yeah, right now he's seeing rain, and more than likely what's happening with this is the tornado has passed by where he is because he's on 45, and it looks like the circulation is now on the state line. Now, alternate 45 and Highway 45 is just off to the west of that. Here's where he is, somewhere in this area right here. More than likely the tornado has passed by him and is sitting right there on the state line where Pickens County, Lamar County, and the state line all joined together. We're going to look at the rotation in this storm because I imagine we're going to be able to see some tight rotation, extremely tight rotation still in the storm. We're going to measure the winds. Look at 59. We're still looking at winds over 100 miles per hour in this storm. That means this is likely a tornado. Notice how close the red and green is together. That's a velocity couplet. In fact, I want to look at the dual polarization. There's still a tornado there.
Near New Hope. That's the debris ball where it is right now, approaching Forest, which is in the state of Alabama, and also McCrary. Anyone that lives near those areas, or if you know someone, please let them know. This is a very, very dangerous situation occurring right now. And understand, this tornado is about to cross into the state of Alabama, and it'll actually be in northern Pickens County, followed by southern Lamar County.
Yes, Binks, and I'll tell you this, most of Pickens County is okay with this particular storm, but there are other storms back off towards the southwest. It's going to be a long, long way to go because, I mean, look at these storms back here in Mississippi that are incredibly wrapped up, likely producing tornadoes.
Right, Richard, and the atmosphere is ripe for tornadoes today. As a matter of fact, our significant tornado parameter is very high today. In fact, we'll go ahead and take a look at this graphic. And what this is the significant tornado parameter for the northern portion of Alabama. And you can see this is the tornado warning. This is Lamar County. This is Pickens County. Millport sits here. This is, of course, Columbus. And you can see these cells are moving into an environment very favorable for the development and the continuance of tornadoes over the next several hours. So the line of storms is right in here. You can see the warning polygons, the tornado warning polygons. And as this line shifts to the south, they're going to come into an even more favorable environment for tornadoes, Richard.
Yes, Bink. So it's one of the many ingredients we look at when we forecast severe weather. Numbers like that are concerning, and that's why we're getting these big tornadoes on the ground with these particular thunderstorms that develop. Right now we're catching a break over Marion County in terms of the tornado potential, but there's more on the way. I think parts of South and East Marion County will likely get this tornado coming out of Columbus. Let me pan back into this storm. Again, that's just past east of Columbus, Mississippi, over in Lamar County. That one continues to track in that direction. There's your possible tornado, or more than likely still a tornado on the ground, moving towards Kennedy, Millport, and then eventually Vernon over in Lamar County. Highway 17, if you're driving south of Detroit, over towards Vernon, down towards Millport and Kennedy, we want you to pull off the road, find a safe place immediately, because more than likely there's still a tornado here with this storm that's going to be sitting right there across extreme East Mississippi, West Alabama state line. And again, we're talking about right there on the Alabama-Mississippi state line moving into Lamar County. So that's a very dangerous thunderstorm. It's likely still producing a tornado. At this point, there's no confirmation there's a tornado on the ground with this, but I'm telling you, it looks awfully dangerous to me. So it's more than likely we've got a tornado on the ground with this storm that's about to move into Pickens County, the northwest corner of Pickens County, and then into Lamar County.
Yeah, Richard, and this civil emergency message has just been issued by the National Weather Service in Huntsville. It's actually being relayed by the National Weather Service, issued by the Limestone County EMA. Apparently some significant damage in Limestone County due to the tornado that moved through that county, affecting places like Athens. It reads, due to the severe weather that's impacted Limestone County this evening, EMA officials are requesting that non-essential persons stay off the road. So that means significant damage in Limestone County, which is just to the north of our viewing area near Huntsville.
Yeah, we got some big problems up around Huntsville. Here's a picture of the limestone tornado, and this is the one that has caused fatalities. This is the one that has caused that civil emergency message.
Yes.
This is the one that has caused extreme destruction across Limestone County, not too far away from the Athens community. Again, this is over in the Huntsville market, but certainly our thoughts and prayers go out for all these people that are impacted by this tornado. It was a bad one. It was a big one. It has done a lot of damage up there in Lamar County. I apologize, Limestone County. We have a tornado warning for Lamar County. And we've got some more pictures of what has happened. We're going to show you that here in just a second. But first off, here's a radar. Again, we have a tornado warning for Lamar County, northwest corner, Pickens County. We are very concerned about. We don't have confirmation there's a tornado with it, but I can tell you, based off the damage we've had, there's more than likely a tornado with this, based off the rotation we've looked at. So again, this is a concerning tornado that is moving into Lamar County. We've got another picture from Crawford, Mississippi, that looks like it's on alternate or Highway 45. 18-wheeler turned over. You know, we don't want folks driving in the tornadoes, obviously, and this is what happens when you drive through that. You're threatening your life when you drive down the highways, when you have tornadoes coming your way. I do want to mention you are watching us right now. It is 6:25. I'm Chief Meteorologist Richard Scott, along Spinks Megason, the entire WVUA news and weather team. We're in the middle of a tornado outbreak across the deep south, including Alabama. You're watching WVUA Tuscaloosa, Northport, WUOA Birmingham, WDVZ Moundville, WJMY Demopolis. That is who you're watching us on right now. And we are in the midst of what is a disaster across the south. We already have fatalities across Alabama. We don't have fatalities reported in our neck of the woods just yet. The fatalities are up in Limestone County near Athens. We got an extremely dangerous rotational signature right on top of Highway 96, about 5 miles west of Millport, and that's moving northeast at about 40 miles per hour. It looks like it has been a near miss to downtown Columbus, but we haven't had any reports of damage yet. There's no doubt there's extreme rotation when it was back here. When it passed New Hope, now the rotation's right here on top of Highway 96. By the way, that's the county line. We got Lamar County up here, Pickens County down here. There's the county line. Looks like we have a new tornado warning.
I think this is actually going to be a continuance of the tornado warning that the National Weather Service in Birmingham has out for Lamar and Pickens County. In fact, I can go ahead and read the text. This was issued at 6:26, which is actually right now, so just moments ago. National Weather Service Doppler radar continued to indicate a tornado located 8 miles southeast of Caledonia or 9 miles northeast of Columbus, moving northeast at 35 miles per hour. And this storm is particularly intense. It's moving towards places like Vernon. I know the Lamar County Airport is in the path of this storm. So if you live anywhere near those two places, you got to get to a safe place. Also Melbourne, Star, and the tiny community of Cody also in the path of this very dangerous storm.
While you do that, let me do a storm track on this and kind of give folks at home a reference point to where you're looking at. But go ahead and mention that.
Yeah, Richard, and let's go ahead if we can, and we'll get the storm track up. It's going to be crossing State Highway 96 in the next few moments, if it's not already. Of course, it will be affecting the county seat of Vernon at about 6:45 p.m., 6:44, and it's going to continue moving off to the northeast at about 35 miles per hour. And understand, this storm is actually moving into an even more favorable environment for tornadoes. So it's intense right now, and it looks like it's going to remain intense as it treks across the extreme northwestern part of Pickens County and Lamar County as well. And we've got to look downwind because these storms are maintaining their strength today. Crossville, that's a community that sits on State Highway 18 that runs into Vernon. That would be the next community in line for this violent tornado, Richard.
Yeah, definitely a very big concern about the storm that's moving into southern Lamar County. It's really on the southwest corner of Lamar County, and we're going to look at the velocity with this because we're going to get a new scan here in a second because the velocity was really incredible a few moments ago. And this is the same storm that produced a confirmed tornado not long ago back in parts of Mississippi. Here's a new scan, and the velocity signature is still extremely tight, very high winds within this thunderstorm. There's more than likely still a tornado on the ground with this. Hopefully this tornado has lifted. Can't guarantee that because it looks mean. It could still be on the ground. We're really concerned about Lamar County. Looks like we're getting a new radar scan. And again, yeah, just west of Millport, that's where your tornado's going to be. And again, really concerning storm on that. Spinks, you seeing any signs of debris with this?
You know, we're looking at the correlation coefficient. That's one of the newer dual polarization products, and there could be debris with this storm at the intersection of where the Lamar County and Pickens County line intersect Mississippi. Right in that area is our main focus of concern. In fact, State Highway 96 in Alabama, it becomes State Highway 50 when it enters Mississippi. That road runs right